Three is a little complicated, so I just wanted to make sure that I went through it with you slowly, if you like. Here you've got the idea of this question is that there's three different areas. There's also 1 in 3 chance that a crash happens in one of these areas. And then there's also, if you look in an area, some chance of actually finding the crash and some chance of not. So there's actually three separate things going on here. One is where the object crashes, either in Area 50, Area 51, or Area 52. And then, depending on where the object crashes, you might not look in the right area. So here, also the chance that you look in um, Area 50, Area 51, or Area 52. So here, where the object crashes and which area you look in are independent events that are 1/3 each. However, there is some dependency in this question as well. So for example, if the object did in fact crash in Area 50 and you looked in Area 50, then the chance of finding is 59%. If if it crashes in Area 51 and you look in 51, then the chance of finding is 66%. And if it crashes in 52 and you look in 52, the chance of finding is actually 56%. So it's quite a complicated situation. Let's just go through some of this tree. So for example, if the object crashed in Area 50, there's a 1 in 3 chance of that. And then if it crashed in Area 50, you might look in Area 50, you might look in 51, or you might look in 52. So you're deciding which area to look in, which is not related to where it crashed. However, if it crashed in 50 and you looked in 50, you do have a chance of finding it, which is here 0.59. And there's also a chance that you don't find it, even though you're looking in the right place. However, if it crashed in 50 and you searched in 51, there is 0 chance you'll find it and 100% chance you won't find it. If it crashed in 50 and you look in 52, there's 0 chance you'll find it and 100% chance that you won't find it. So here you could look at all of these trees like that if you like. This last row here is what happens when I took this number, multiply it by this number, multiply it by this number. I got this number. And this number multiplied by this number, multiplied by this number is this number. This number multiplied by this number multiplied by this number is this number. This number multiplied by this number multiplied by this number is this number, and so on. Okay, so what this question then is asking is, given the crash happened in Area 51, what's the probability that you'll find it? So here I said probability that given it crashed, so given it crashed in 51, finding it is a two-step process. First, you do have to find it and you have to look in the right area. So here, the probability of finding it in 51 means that you looked in 51 and it was able to be found. Okay, so there's two things there given it crashed in 51. So here, just writing the conditional statement out, it would be the intersection of all three of these things divided by just the probability of the condition here. So here in the numerator, I've got the probability of finding it in 51 and looking in 51 and it crashing in 51. Okay, so here, sorry, let me just go to the part of the tree where that is. So given that it crashed in 51 and you looked in 51, so this, and then you found it. So it's this times this, which will equal 11 out of 150. So that's just the numerator. Then here we're dividing it by the probability that it actually crashed in 51. What's the probability it crashed in 51? 1/3 chance. So here I've got 11 over 150 divided by 1/3, which gives me the answer of 0.22. B is a little bit more complicated. Calculate the probability that the crash was in area 51. So here the probability the crash was in 51, given or if the search in 51 was unsuccessful. So how do I represent the search in 51 being unsuccessful? That is, I looked in 51 and I did not find. So F complement. Putting these three together, that is, crashed in 51 and looked in 51 and did not find in 51 in the numerator, divided by here, looked in 51 and did not find in 51. And that's regardless of where it crashed. So to start with the numerator, so crashed in 51 and looked in 51 and did not find. So it did crash in 51 and I looked in 51 and not find, but did not find. So that's 1/3 times 1/3 times 0.34, which is actually 17 over 450. Okay, so that's the numerator. The denominator is a little bit tricky. So here, just looked in 51 and did not find. There's actually three ways this happens. One is here, I crashed in 51 and I looked in 51 and I did not find. So that is 1/3 times 1/3 times 0.34. That's here, 1/3 squared times 0.34. There's also two other ways. It may be it crashed in 50 and I looked in 51 and I did not find. So that would be 1/3 times 1/3 times 1, which is 1/9. And there's another way as well, as if it crashed in 52 and I looked in 51 and I did not find. So that would be 1/3 times 1/3 times 1 again. So I combined those two because I noticed that that was the same calculation. It was 1/3 times 1/3 times 1. Instead of adding it twice, I just multiplied it by 2, which is fine. And then here I've got the numerator, and then I'm going to crunch the denominator a little bit. And then what I'm going to find here is the final calculation is 17 over 117.